Nigeria is changing. Cities swell with millions seeking opportunity, safety, and purpose. But land does not multiply. In the heart of the nation lies a planned city, born not of accident, but of intention, designed to unify, to govern, and to build a future. This is Abuja, not just a capital, but a symbol of urban evolution in Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria's first capital, once stood at the center of the nation, yet by the early 1970s, it was choking on its own success. With limited land and rising population pressure, the city struggled with overcrowding, high rents, traffic gridlock, and infrastructure stretched beyond capacity. By then, the federal government realized that a capital defined by history could not carry the future. There needed to be a central, neutral, expandable home for the republic, a city built for all Nigerians. In 1975, a panel led by Justice Akinola Aguda was commissioned to find a new capital. The panel recommended a sparsely populated, centrally located region that would signal unity and provide space for long-term growth. On February 5, 1976, the federal military government under General Murtala Mohammed enacted Decree No. 6 of 1976, creating the Federal Capital Territory and establishing the Federal Capital Development Authority, the agency tasked with turning vision into reality.
By this decree, the Federal Capital Territory is hereby established.
The original town, called Abuja, was renamed Suleja, and the name Abuja was reserved for the new capital of the nation. In June 1977, the Federal Capital Development Authority commissioned International Planning Associates, a consortium of 3 American planning firms, to design a new capital city for Nigeria. Over the next 18 months, they studied the landscape, population patterns, climate, transportation models, and urban systems to develop a master plan for Abuja. On February 15, 1979, the master plan was formally presented to the Executive Secretary of the FCDA. It proposed a phased, concentric city radiating outward from Aso Rock, with dedicated areas for governance, residences, commerce, recreation, and green spaces. Central districts would house the presidency, the National Assembly, and the Supreme Court, the now famous three-arm zone. Residential districts were designed with orderly grids, open spaces, and zoning that could accommodate multiple income levels. Construction began in the early 1980s, transforming a quiet savannah landscape into wide boulevards, emerging districts, and national landmarks. President Shehu Shagari pushed early infrastructure development, and subsequent military administrations continued the project. Under General Ibrahim Babangida, Nigeria's seat of government officially relocated to Abuja on December 12, 1991. That moment marked the birth of Abuja as the capital of Africa's most populous nation. But Abuja's success created new challenges. The city was originally planned for roughly 3.1 million people, but its growth far exceeded projections. As tens of thousands migrated every year in search of opportunity, surrounding areas such as Kubwa, Nyanya, Karu, Gwagwalada, and Kuje began to expand rapidly. Many of these satellite towns developed faster than infrastructure could support. While Abuja's central districts reflected order and modernity, the outskirts revealed the pressures of rapid urbanization, informal settlements, high demand for housing, and rising living costs. The truth is simple. Vision alone cannot house millions. Abuja's growth exposed the gap between planning and lived reality. Housing supply has not kept pace with demand, especially for young professionals, families, and the lower middle class. Land prices soared, rents skyrocketed, and the dream of a well-balanced, accessible capital city continues to face real pressure. Abuja today is a microcosm of the housing crisis facing Nigeria's rapidly growing urban centers. Yet, the city's next chapter is being written on its edges. New growth corridors such as Lugbe, Airport Road, Kuje, and Gwagwalada are becoming the frontier of Abuja's expansion. These emerging districts are now shaping the future of the capital, where curated living, intentional planning, and smart development models can redefine what housing means for millions of Nigerians. Abuja stands not as a relic of planning ideals, but as a living, evolving organism, reflecting both Nigeria's aspirations and its challenges. A city built by design, shaped by migration, and tested by growth. From savannah to capital, from master plan to megacity, Abuja reminds us that urban evolution is constant. And now, a new question rises before us. How will we build the next phase of Nigerian cities? Intentionally, affordably, and for all.
Urban Evolution Movement.